So you want to main Rebecca, the glorious jellyfish goddess, and watch your enemies roll around in agony as you simply stare intensely at her huge, massive, delicious damage, all while not even touching your mouse and keyboard. Well, today I got the video for you. What's good, guys? Welcome back to another DNA video. Today we finally have the awaited Rebecca complete build guide. I'm going to be telling you everything I've learned about Rebecca. I'm going to be telling you my builds, the different ways to play her, the partners, and the weapons you should be running with this character. And I'm going to showcase exactly what my Rebecca is able to do. So without further ado, let's hop on in. First off, here are my Rebecca stats, and I gotta be honest, they are pretty juicy. There's always room for improvements, but right now, for the stage of the game we're in, they're absolutely insane. We're sitting here with a little bit over 1300 hydro attack, 172 skill damage, over 200% skill range, 112 skill duration, and 112 skill efficiency with 186 max sanity, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when it comes to her wedges, here's what you guys have been asking me for so long every time you come to the streams, and there's a lot to talk about, okay? It all starts with Misty Veil. This mod right here is going to be her bread and butter. It's going to give her 30% skill damage, and on top of that, Hydro character summons gain an attack speed boost equal to 27% of the summoner's melee weapon's attack speed, and a skill range boost equal to 13% of the summoner's skill range. This is very good. It's going to increase the attack speed of the jellyfish, and on top of that is going to increase her skill range. It's a very, very good mod, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm using in terms of a weapon to synergize with this particular mod. Moving on from here, we have this mod right here, Spectrum, which is very good. We're rocking two of these. These ones are going to give you attack percentage and skill range, which is very good, and once you get them to +5, you can wear two of them. They are pretty much very important for this build, as they will finish satisfying that skill range necessity that you will have on this particular build. Moving on over, we have this right here, Griffin Sewer Midnight Sun, and this thing is an absolute monster. Hydro attack percentage, skill damage percentage, and skill duration, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is an absolute beast. It gives you a whole bunch of things that you need, and eventually I cannot wait to replace this with a gold version because this mod is very, very good. Moving on from here, we have Wings Volition, which is going to give us max sanity and skill damage. This is another very, very good mod. Sanity is very important on this build because them jellyfish are kind of expensive, and skill damage is going to be a big part of the damage she deals with the jellies. So I do advise you try to get your hands on this mod right here. Then we have this one right here, Inspo, which is going to give you attack percentage and skill efficiency, a very, very good mod. Moving on over, the Common Blaze, which is just going to give us attack percentage. And the last mod that we will have right here, the last wedge, is Typhoon's Prime Serenity. Is going to give you a big chunk of attack percentage, HP percentage, and defense, and it's going to restore additional sanity by 7 points for you and your teammates. Now, I want to be clear with you guys. If you're playing by yourself and you have your partners with you, right, the AI with you, you can put this mod right here on one of your AI companions, and you're going to be able to give yourself those 7 points of sanity. And in this slot, you can go ahead and slot something else, maybe give yourself more range, more sanity, more skill damage, whatever it is that you desire. But even so, the freaking percentages that this wedge gives are absolutely insane, so I just like to have it. And when I go in co-op, it's just good to have that extra little bit of sanity, because like I told you, in later game content, it gets kind of expensive when it comes to the jellies. In our center slot, we have this Feather Serpent's Vigilance, and I gotta be honest, there's not that many, center wedges that I find like that interesting, but this one is like, okay, when taking damage, there is a 50% chance to reduce the damage taken by 20%, which is pretty alright. I think this is a solid build, and I want to tell you guys some things before we move on over to the weapons and the partners and all that good stuff. You might be looking at this build and asking yourself, why don't I have more duration or efficiency? And it's quite simple. When you're maining Rebecca and she's the main active character, you want to deal a lot of damage with her. And the reality of skill duration and skill efficiency is that they're relatively crap unless you're stacking a lot of them. Meaning that if I were to stack duration and efficiency on this character, I will miss out on a lot of damage and a lot of hydro attack. And that's just the reality of it is. right? You can go ahead and get a lot of duration and a lot of skill efficiency, but you would have to stack several mods that would give you enough duration and efficiency for it to even matter. I've tried it myself. I've stacked a little bit, a good amount of duration, and the most I got on my jellies were about 2.5 more seconds, which is not really that impactful, even with Prime Serenity over here, because all you're going to do is get an extra 7 points of sanity. So I'd rather go for a big hitting build with some really good skill damage, some very good hydro attacks, some heavy range, and then just work around everything else. The duration and efficiency can be a problem at times, but not that big of a deal if you're actually killing things, which with this build, ladies and gentlemen, you absolutely will. I will say though, if you're looking to run Rebecca as a partner, if you're trying to run her as an AI companion, I would advise to go for more range, go for more duration and more efficiency, and sacrifice a little bit of skill damage and a little bit of hydro attack. I will tell you guys, if you're trying to run her as an AI companion, it's going to be very good to have more sanity, more duration, and more efficiency and range over actually doing more damage, because the AI with Rebecca, while she does destroy things in later content, especially if you get her 2 dupes, she kind of spams her jellyfish and runs out of sanity like it's nobody's business. I just want to point that out and explain it to you guys, because there's different ways to build these characters depending on what you're trying to do with them. Moving on over, right? We're going to talk about her weapon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? And with her, I'm running this right here, the Vernal Jade Halberd. You might be asking yourself why I'm not running her signature, and I'll tell you guys right now. First off, like I told you, she has a mod, Misty Veil, that works around attack speed. This right here has some pretty good attack speed at base that instantly gets applied right here, which is very, very good. And on top of that, she deals 45% damage to targets inflicted with bonus effects, which Rebecca works around completely. I'll tell you guys her kit at the end of the video. I could have started with that, but I feel that it's more important to get into the build, and then we talk about the things that we already know towards the end. Now, we know that her weapon, her signature weapon, is also very good, which is Siren's Kiss. The thing with this weapon is that it is going to give you that skill range, which is really good, right? It's very good for like support types of Rebecca and even main DPS Rebeccas, right? But when it comes to the attack speed increase on this particular weapon, the problem here is quite simple. You have to be very active with Rebecca to build up these stacks, get the kills to actually get the stacks and get the attack speed increase, which for a character like Rebecca, I don't really enjoy. I like being able to just go out, instantly place down a jellyfish and have the attack speed buff and have my jellyfish just thumping away, which this weapon is going to offer. And then on top of that, that damage increase to targets afflicted with bonus effects is actually going to allow this weapon to deal some very, very good damage. I really like the damage this weapon is able to deal. And in critical moments where I've ran out of sanity, this weapon has been able to output some very good damage, even if I'm only able to put down like 1 jellyfish, 2 jellyfish, instead of all of my 5 jellyfish. Now, moving on to the demon wedges, it's quite simple. We have commanding thrust. We all have this. It kind of changes and upgrades the polar movements. We have brutality, which is really nice. After defeating an enemy, gets 1 stack of increased attack speed by 30% for 10 seconds, up to 2 stacks. Really good. 60% attack increase, and it's 2 stacks. You're going to be moving real fast with this, even though I'm pretty sure that this buff right here does not apply to the jellyfish, okay? Then we have this mod, which is vital for Rebecca builds. Misty Veil Rebecca builds need to have this mod on their melee weapon, and that's going to be Cerberus Celerity, because you're going to get 20% more attack speed, absolute must-have. Then we have Patrol. When triggering bonus effects, gains 1 stack that increases attack range by a certain amount, up to 2 stacks. And now this is also very, very good, because you might be thinking, that looks kind of small when it comes to the range. I'm telling you right now, it's pretty good range, right? And it's going to allow you to hit a lot of enemies and keep up that combo meter with this weapon, which is really good. Then we have Focus, crit chance, we have Rage, crit damage. Then we have Focus over here, which is more attack and more crit chance. And then another Demon Wedge that's going to give you attack percentage for a very solid, you know, damaging build over here. Very solid crit chance, very solid crit damage. Good attack speed, which is only going to get higher the more I dupe this weapon. Decent trigger chance. Attack range is not bad, especially when you activate this. It's almost double or triple what we already have, and overall some pretty good damage. Moving on over to her ranged weapon. We're using Destructo simply for the skill range. That's pretty much the main reason to use this. We do have some good stats on this, if I do say so myself. I haven't worked as hard on this as I have on something else because you don't really use this all too much. But we are rocking Impetuous for attack, Crusher for smash attack and mat capacity, Focus for crit chance, Rage for crit damage, Furious Blast that is going to increase your projectile damage by 20%, explosive projectiles. Then we have Lilith's Crusher for smash attack, Crusher Strammel for more smash attack and trigger probability, and Impetuous for attack and crit chance. That is the build when it comes to the weapons, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when you look at this weapon right here, the reason I like this so much, like I was explaining to you, is not only the instant attack speed boost that you'll have without even having to go and kill mobs, which in later game content, guys, you're not going to flat out go with Rebecca and start killing things with her melee weapon to stack up the stacks on her signature Siren Skiss, whereas this one will instantly give you the buff of attack speed to your jellyfish without having to kill anything. It might be less, but it's going to instantly work, which is really good, and my range is overall really good. Moving on over to actual Rebecca. I'm going to break it down as simple as possible. Her main thing is going to be summoning jellyfish. These jellyfish are going to deal a lot of damage. Aurelia or Rita. She can summon up to 3, and if you dupe her out, she can summon up to 5, which is actually insane. They inherit 100% of Rebecca's stats, and they deal hydro damage to nearby enemies. Now, the big thing around these is going to be Poison of Love. When dealing damage with a melee weapon or Aurelia or Rita's attack, inflicts 1 stack of Poison of Love on the target up to 6 stacks. Poison of Love deals hydro damage every 2 seconds. When defeated, enemies afflicted with Poison of Love transfer their Poison of Love to nearby enemies based on the current stack count and remaining duration. That's pretty much her whole gist. Places down the jellyfish, right here, pretty damn simple. They're going to be ticking away. While they're ticking away, you're inflicting Poison of Love, and you're also going to be hitting with your melee weapon, inflicting all that good stuff, and dealing more damage. Very simplistic. And then her ultimate, which is really good, just deals hydro damage to nearby enemies. The damage is increased based on the number of Poison of Love stacks inflicted on the enemies. There's a nice little, boom, big hit when you've stacked enough Poison of Love. And that's really everything there is to know about Rebecca in this particular build. There's 2 more things that I want to talk about. One is going to be her geniemons. This right here is not that big of a deal, but I still want to talk about it. Now, geniemons are quite important. They are going to buff your character and allow them to deal more damage. I'm currently using the Battle Pass geniemon, Hydrelf, which for each summoned by the main character increases damage dealt by self and allies by 4% for 12 seconds up to 16%. And then the passive skill increases Hydro attack for the main character and the combat partners by 2.4, and the stats provided by Hydro Demon Wedges prefixed with Griffith, Typhoon, and Covenanter by 0.9. This is a very, very good geniemon for Rebecca. But I just want to point this out. We all get this guy for free. You can go ahead and dupe him up, and he'll be super good. Increases attack of all allied summons by 9.0, by 9% for 10 seconds. Increases Hydro attack for the main character and the combat partners by 1.2. And the same thing at the bottom, right? This is going to be a very good, geniemon for Rebecca that you can work on right now. And there are going to be other options that you can actually work on her. Let's see if I have any of them. Right here, this one's not bad. Increases attack for self and allies by 7.5%. The main character and combat partners gain Hydro attack by a certain percent and max HP. So those are the 3 that you can go ahead and rock on her, and you'll be absolutely fine without any problem whatsoever. Those are the ones I would advise you guys go ahead and rock with her because they are going to increase what she does and what she brings to the table. Now, regarding Rebecca and regarding her partners, there's a couple of things I want to bring up here, which is right here. Let me go ahead and show you. Increases attack for self and Hydro allies. So she's going to give an attack boost of 50% to herself and Hydro allies. So you want to pair her up with Hydro units. It's pretty damn simple. Whatever Hydro units you pair with her are going to get a 50% attack boost. Considering that we don't have a lot of Hydro units, the first unit we're going to talk about that you're going to want to pair up with her is going to be Tabitha. And Tabitha is a very, very, very good character to pair up with Rebecca. And I'm going to tell you guys why. You guys can see right here my stats. I haven't really gone as deep into building her as I have on Rebecca because she's kind of just an AI partner, and I got other characters to build to bring you guys more build videos. Now, the reason that she's so good is because she synergizes so well with Rebecca. Rebecca's going to have the jellyfishes doing damage. She's going to summon these tentacles right here that's going to grab enemies and just keep them in place while you're doing tick damage, which is really good. But on top of that, she grants self and allies a boost to skill damage, which is really nice. A 36% skill boost damage, which is great for Rebecca, which deals a lot of skill damage with her jellies. This is overall a very very good ability and a very good buff to have for Rebecca. Now, moving on from here, there's a lot of things that she's going to be able to do that work around the same way. You know, the tentacles, she's going to be dealing hydro damage, which is going to synergize once again really good with Rebecca, and the geniemons that are going to boost hydro damage, which are going to be really good. And then right here is another very good thing, increases skill damage for self and allies, another 8% skill damage buff, which once again is just going to synergize very well with Rebecca. And overall, that is a very synergistic character. But wait, there is more. I haven't been able to get it, but the ideal weapon that you want to rock on this character is going to be this one right here. The Shackle of the Lone Wolf. Trigger probability 75%. When a Hydro character triggers a bonus effect with this weapon, other allies gain 33% attack for 6 seconds. She's a Hydro character. She's going to be triggering this quite a lot, which is once again going to buff your Rebecca and allow her to deal more damage, and it's going to be beautiful. Even more damage. We got skill damage buffing. We have this weapon on her that is her signature weapon. It's going to work beautifully with her, and it's going to buff Rebecca even more. That's exactly what you want to rock with this particular character. Moving on over to the next character I'm using on my team, and that is none other than Baby Peeb, Truffle, and Filbert. Now, the reason I like this character so much, even though there will be other units that probably synergize better, is because this character is just very good. If we look right here at the skill, she heals allies and increases their damage, which is really good. In later content, having those heals and having, you know, damage increase is great. Here we have the healing and a 61% damage boost, and here's the damage boost duration. So we can already see where this is going. Rebecca's dealing her damage, she's buffing her Hydro partner, which is Tabitha, and then Tabitha's just insanely buffing Rebecca, skill damage, attack, all that good stuff. So this is really good. She does have other abilities that bring other things to the table, but overall the main reason that I'm really working with her is very specific, and is exactly this buff right here that is going to give me healing and damage boost. That is pretty much it when it comes to Rebecca, and absolutely everything you need to know and run and work with her to get the absolute best out of this character, ladies and gentlemen. I will be bringing you guys more builds, more optimized builds. I'm already preparing over here. I got another gold, and I got more things on the way regarding this character, but we will be dropping more guides. The reason I didn't go too in-depth into the wedges that I'm rocking on Tabitha and Rebecca and PB are because they're really not that important. There's only 2 wedges that you really should know and have on them, and I'm going to show you really quick. Whether it's on Tabitha or Peebs, you want to make sure one of them has Prime Serenity. It's going to restore your sanity by 7%, and I just want to let you know these don't stack. So this one doesn't stack with the one that Rebecca is wearing. So don't think you're going to be getting a ton of sanity. They don't stack, ladies and gentlemen. So that's one mod, and everything else, it just really depends on what you want to build with the character. But that's one of the mods that you want to rock on your PV for sure. And then on Tabitha, the one that you really want to rock right here, it is Typhoon's Prime Uplift. Increases damage dealt by you and your teammates by 11%. This one's much better on Tabitha because she is also getting the buffs from Rebecca. So overall, this one is very good. It's going to increase her damage and overall just allow her to do that much more. So while having this on her and having the other one on Baby Peebs, you're going to be able to stack up a lot of damage and a lot of utility. And then one more thing that you really want to bring in is Frosty Torrent on your Tabitha. When a Hydro character uses a skill, the user and nearby allies gain an attack increase equal to 11.4 of the user's attack. That's why we're building her with a lot of attack, ladies and gentlemen. So this right here is another way to once again buff your Rebecca, because it's going to buff your allies as well. So this is another way to synergize the team, make the entire team work perfectly. But that's going to be it. This was a relatively long video. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoy videos like this that break down everything, the different play styles, all the demon wedges, the teammates, the weapons, why I do things a certain way. And that's going to be it. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.